Welcome everybody to episode 32 of Pleasure Explosion. Today I want to sequel my last episode 6 weeks ago. We're going to talk about our top 5 favourite personal movies.
I thought you were going to say albums 6 through 10 as a sequel.
Yeah.
Spin-off then.
Spiritual successor?
There we go.
Yeah.
Any of the above. Whichever one
It's
applies.
in the extended universe.
Yeah.
Alright, today we're joined by Ashley Hopley.
Hey, I'm here.
You are here.
Yep.
Back in an hour behind everyone.
Observant.
Hashtag fuck daylight savings.
Fuck
love daylight savings. Love.
Ugh.
Are we?
Also joined by Dylan.
I'm excited to be here to talk on what will probably be Thomas's favourite episode.
He's got, oh, you son of a bitch.
Jack.
Plat.
Jono.
What's going on?
And the major cinephile, Thomas.
I promise I'm going hands-free. I showed the guys my Vita, but I'm not playing. I put it down. I was just scanning. Scott asked me, do I have any good game recommendations on Vita at the moment?
And you didn't automatically say
You
Dynasty
said Dynasty
Warriors?
Warriors.
I didn't automatically say Dynasty Warriors because I don't think that would be his cup of tea.
That's very considerate of you.
Mostly because there's only about 20 of us in the world still whose cup
of
of
tea?
tea it really is.
It would have been very easy for you to recommend Dynasty Warriors, so I commend you for that. It's very considerate.
Alright, the way today's going to go, I'm going to go through everybody, going to give one movie each. You can choose to put it in numerical order or not. I'm personally just going top 5 in no particular order. Alright, and I just want you to say a little bit about it, why you think it's in your top 5 and your memories with it and whatnot. Same dealio as last time, and I'm going to start with you, Ashley.
Oh, me. Well, this time I didn't bother putting them in numerical order. Because they could change like any given day.
True.
And it's much easier. So my first one is 500 Days of Summer. It came out 2009, directed by Mark Webb, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel. I just think it's amazingly edited. The structure of that film is like genius. I really love the story. It's got some great lines. Shot really good. And that expectations versus reality sequence, if you guys have seen it, that's like one of the best things I've seen in cinema in the probably last decade. It's like
split screen.
Yeah, the split screen. It's like
yeah.
a really like simple idea, but like executed like really well.
Is it
What's
a split
the movie
screen
about?
kind of like Requiem for a Dream?
I assume so. I'm going to be honest. Haven't seen Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, no.
Damn.
You should. Reckon
Ass to ass.
It's like half the screen showing what he expects to happen at this party, and then the other half is a few seconds delayed, showing what actually happens.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Just, yeah.
500 Days of Summer's great. Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I expected more from the Spider-Man movies when they announced that Mark Webb was going to do them. Joseph and
It should have
Zoe are
worked.
great.
His last name was Webb.
It was the movie that invented like the term manic pixie dream girl, though.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
was.
also known for like a quote on technically negative type, but I mean it gets away with it because it's like the first movie to do that.
Yeah.
And
It's one of these
I like
movies
that
I've seen.
No,
the
it was
cover
actually
for
Golden
everywhere.
Garden State, I think, was the first one.
Yeah, I
I
guess
think
you could argue
Garden
Garden
State's technically the first, but I think the article where the person who penned it wrote it because of
500.
500 days. Yeah.
I can say I've never
But Garden
heard of
State
that
is
term
first.
before.
Nathan Rabin from AV Club coined that
Yep.
phrase. Yeah.
What's it mean?
It's a trope for a lot of rom-coms and indie movies where basically a boring character comes across a manic pixie-like dream girl that blows his
Has
mind
zero
and
issues
opens
and-
his world
okay.
to a, you know,
Zoe Deschanel in every fucking thing that she does.
Basically,
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel is
Yes, man.
Like in every role she's in is
New
that
girl.
role.
New girl.
Is
Yeah.
that type character.
She's great though. I love Zoe.
Yeah.
me
Good
too.
movie, great soundtrack. It's got heaps of like the whole use of the Smiths so much, and then they have like they talk about the Smiths in the movie and stuff. That's cool.
The karaoke and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got
good movie.
the album in my car. I listen to it all the time.
I listen to the hell out of it. Also, Zoe, that's the movie where I found out like Zoe could sing as well.
Yeah.
And then I've listened to her albums. Well, I
got
don't
a
know the
banging
guy's
voice.
name that she sings with, but her group. I listened
Is it
to
called
after
Me and Him or
She and
Me
something.
and Him.
She
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Him,
yeah,
yeah.
that one. Yep.
She was also married to Ben Gibbard from Death Cab for a while.
Oh, fun fact, everybody.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Learn something new every day.
Thomas.
Shit, I didn't expect me coming next.
Yep. Of the 5 movies you've seen, what's your first one?
So I immediately realised I was woefully underprepared for this when Ash started talking about the director and noting who stars in the film. I was like, no, I didn't think about noting those things down. But in alphabetical
No, I wanted to
order,
pretend to be Jono this time. So
yeah, fair enough. Mine are in alphabetical order. So I've put number 1. It was the first DVD I ever received, and so it has a particularly soft spot in my heart. I also just think it's quite funny. Ali G and a House. I'm not here on
Fantastic.
some like artsy trip of
This is gonna be
noted
great. This is gonna be
directors
great.
and all that sort of shit. It's like I thoroughly enjoy that movie. I can put it on at any point in time. Probably like do the whole script along with it. Just chill out, have a good time.
I put it to
Funny
you.
movie.
You sucked off a horse.
Exactly. Charles Dance is in there,
Horse.
I don't
My
remember.
Fantastic
favorite,
movie.
and
my
then he
favorite,
does at the end.
my
the-
favorite
the-
scene is the one
Me
where they're
Julie.
like they're racing the other car and they're like sitting on the speed limit,
Yeah.
and then like the cops pull up and he like gives
And they're
him
like, the finger
like,
behind
under
the door.
and he's like, "Oh, fucking look at this, bro!" Like, ah!
No, West Side is the best.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I wonder if it holds
No,
up.
never have I, but it's some scenes.
Yeah, I
some
wonder if it
scenes
holds
stand
up.
out.
It holds up. It's a fantastic movie.
That's great.
West Side, motherfucker.
Fantastic.
That's most left field pick in any older podcasts out there titled like top 10 movies, top 5 movies. There's no fucking way anyone has started their picks off with Ali G in the
That's great. Tom's is going to be the best.
maybe
list.
like the top 5 Sacha Baron Cohen movies.
But yeah, ranking everything that he's ever done.
The disappointing
The
thing with
Dictator is at
that
the bottom
film
of that
is
list.
that he didn't actually go the Borat route and do like a
like a go around as a
mockumentary.
character.
Real
Yeah,
world.
That was
because
his first movie, so like he did Borat.
Well, because
Scripting it was a-
LG was a television show beforehand, wasn't it?
All his
Yeah, so
characters
the
are on
Ali
TV.
G show or whatever was
Yeah.
where we played all the characters, and Ali G was the main character. But that like Borat and
Bruno.
Bruno and all that were on that show. So
Yeah. All right.
just Mike Myers it.
Yeah. Jack,
Very funny man.
Nicholas.
that's my name.
So I did.
Don't wear it out.
I did put my list in numerical order, so I'll be starting from 5 and working my way down to my favourite movie of all time. Now, again, this could change week to week depending on how I'm feeling, but I feel like this is the most consistent top 5 that I have. Anyway, so number 5 on my list is the classic The Blues Brothers. Just a
I can get behind
fucking awesome movie.
Love Blues
that. Yeah.
All the movies on my list I've seen, I don't know,
At least once.
at least once.
If you use Track.tv,
You can
you'd
guarantee
be able to
at
see
least.
how many times you've seen it.
Hey, say again, sorry?
If you use Track.tv, you'd be able to log every time you've seen it.
Well,
Not an ad.
I'm not sure that Track.tv was around when I started watching.
Of
these
my
movies.
dream sponsors, Track.tv, and they let me off my yearly premium membership.
Yeah, you and me.
Not an ad.
But the Blues Brothers is just fucking awesome. Like I think it's almost like, and I've got a couple other movies that I feel the same way, but it's almost perfect. Like the humor, the performances, the characters, the music, it's just fantastic. Like Aykroyd and Belushi are awesome. There's there's so many like pop culture references to Blues Brothers and stuff. So much. There's so many like
Yeah.
you know.
I hate the Illinois Nazis.
Yeah, the Illinois Nazis, exactly.
The car
kinds of music,
jumping over
yeah.
the bridge is kind of dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many things in that, like you suspend, like the car flipping up in the air and falling out of the sky with the Nazis in it and that, like, but you've sort of got to. suspend that disbelief because they're like, we're on a mission from God.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Like, I love that movie, and I love that soundtrack as well. Like, I
It's
have
fantastic.
like a heap of the Blues Brothers. Like, I've still got the old cassettes from back in the day, all the Blues Brothers albums, and so many iconic songs in that movie. And it's just awesome. Like, what a fantastic movie. I remember I watched this movie probably dozens of times as a kid, and I remember in like music class in like year 9 in high school, for some reason the teacher put it on and was like, oh, you know, you've got to pay attention to what's happening in the movie, and then if you like, you know, I'll pause it, and if you can tell me like, he'll ask like an obscure question like, what was on this thing, or what was this, you know, I'll give you like a lolly or whatever. And I kept everyone's getting pissed off because every time he'd stop it, I was getting the answer right because no one was. I just knew, like, I didn't even need to be. I didn't even need to be watching to know the answers. So yeah, awesome movie.
That movie holds a special place for me too because my dad introduced it to me, and it's just a movie that we've watched together a lot of times.
Yeah,
That's a fantastic movie too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, a similar thing with my dad. Like, introduced me to the movie, and it was one of his favorite movies. And like, we used to always just listen to the Blues Brothers albums, like driving around or whatever. And yeah, unreal. But nah, sick movie.
Then they ruined it with the sequel.
Oh,
I was about to say Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers 2000
was on my short list as well. However, one of the worst sequels ever.
Yeah, but your short list is like the whole IMDb catalogue.
Look, how many movies are made a year?
A lot.
According to Tom, too
In
many.
case you're wondering.
More than 5.
Too many fucking movies. I only need to watch 3 every couple of years.
Keep up to date with the Marvel films, and you're good.
yeah.
That's all you need.
All right, on to you, Jono.
The first movie that I'm going to name is Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
It was the last one that I could put on my list, so I'm going to make it my number 5. I love Rain Man. I've been a fan of Rain Man since like, I don't know, late primary school, early high school. I just love the performances. Dustin Hoffman's like amazing. I think he won the Oscar for Best Actor for his portrayal of like the idiot savant, as they would have called them back then. But now they'd just be very high on the spectrum, I guess. Yeah. So one of Tom Cruise's better roles, in my opinion. Great story. Just an interesting, like, you look at all the Oscar bait movies that come out now, and this was one that it didn't feel like they were going for that. They just wanted to tell a great story, and yeah, like Dustin Hoffman's portrayal of someone with severe autism is one of my favorite roles ever, I think. And it introduced me to, like, my mum works with people. Well, she's retired now, but she worked with people with autism for almost her whole career. And it just opened that world to me and gave me a fascination with the way that people's brains can work, and that someone can be completely socially dysfunctional but also highly intelligent. And if you haven't seen that, has everyone seen it?
I saw it in school once.
Bits and pieces.
The casino scene's the best scene.
Yeah, that's great.
Maybe I'm going to start a list of movies that I need to watch because you talk so highly of them.
Listen to this part.
So all 25 movies that we referenced.
So have you
Maybe
seen
ones that I'm already interested in anyway.
Tom? Have you seen The Blues Brothers and 500 Days of Summer?
I have seen Blues Brothers multiple times. I did say we got both kinds of music here, but I don't think anybody heard that. And I haven't seen 500 Days of Summer, no.
Okay, but you have seen Ali G.
Of course I have.
Fantastic.
My list
said a
is
list
just
of the
movies I
dartboard
have
on it.
seen.
Just checking. Sorry, John, go on.
No, I'm pretty much done. I was just going to say it's a movie that, similar to Blues Brothers, gets referenced a lot in other media, whether it's just quotes or just calling someone Rain Man when they have a really exceptional skill or proficiency in math or something.
Yeah.
And just it seems to have permeated throughout pop culture since then. But I think it's forgotten a lot as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. In the name of progress, let's go to Dylan.
In the name of progress.
Was that a jab at him or something?
No. Just going to get this episode moving.
Mine are numbered, like ordered from 5 we'll go 5-1 if it was a proper list. Number 5, Shaun of the Dead, directed by Edgar Wright, 2004. I've got years. I've upped Ash.
Wow. I would have thought this would have been number 1.
I think over the last couple of years, whenever I've tried to do top 5 lists, there has been times where Shaun of the Dead's been top 3. It's somehow made it's made its way down the 5. It's still in the top 5, so it's been in my top 5 for probably the last 10 years, or probably since it came out, I guess. It's like my go-to sick movie, which is one of the reasons I love it, and I've probably watched it. It would be like one of my most watched movies, because it's just that I'm feeling ill, I want to watch something that makes me feel good, I'll watch Shaun of the Dead, because it makes me laugh every time I watch it, no matter how many times I watch it. It is the ultimate parody movie. Like, if you want to put it, I know it's bad to put it in the spectrum of like scary movies
movie
and
that.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
However, it is the ultimate parody of George A. Romero of the Dead movies and stuff like that. The first time I watched it, because I liked those movies when I was younger, the first time I watched it when he says the line, "They're coming to get you, Barbara," which is like a direct rip-off of the original one. Like, that was like little horror nerdy, like, oh, that's funny because he says that's funny. And yeah, it's really good because it's like, it's horror, like it's got the violence, but then it's like really funny as fuck. And if you were ever a fan of Spaced back in the day, a short-lived show that didn't get fucking nearly enough airtime.
It was British, so of course it ran their full length.
Yeah, well, for British TV, I suppose. Fucking, it's like you got 12 episodes or whatever done. Yeah. Shaun of the Dead comes out, and it's basically just like Space the movie, technically, kinda. It's
with zombies.
The ultimate. If like one of the best parts of Space was just seeing Nick Frost and Simon Pegg just being like buddies on TV, and then Shaun of the Dead comes out, and it's just the ultimate quote unquote bro movie, I guess, or something like that. And it's also Edgar Wright's style. And I mean, after this is with the rest of his movies, you know, through to Scott Pilgrim and now Baby Driver, of course. Like, this is the first movie where it was like, oh, here comes a director with a style. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this director, he's got a clear style with the way he like made and cut movies and stuff like that. So it sticks out to me. Shaun of the Dead, great movie.
I considered putting Baby Driver on my list, only because you mentioned it because of Edgar Wright, because I watched that recently and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good movie. Not as good as Shaun of the Dead.
Probably not. I've seen that more recently, so it's on the mind more so.
I'd be remiss to not mention that this list, making Dylan make this list almost killed him.
Yeah.
I have 52 honourable mentions if we want to go through them. That
could be an extra side.
I threw up on a piece of paper just as many movies like that could come out of my head, and I got to 62, so I'm like, well, I got to get 10 from you. So I got 52 left over.
Actually, you only had to get 5.
I think I got to 6.
I found it easier to do the top 10, like the CDs thing, like do a top 10 and then cut that in half. It's the sections. I've got a skill to this now after the albums one.
I can dig it.
All right.
I'm sure it'd be invaluable for the rest of your life.
Let's hope so.
First one I'm going to name off my list is Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, good choice.
Oh, yeah.
That movie just rooted itself in my mind and my nerdom and my fascination with the world, and my favourite character in all of pop culture and fiction, Darth Vader, and this is his shining moment, this film. Well, it was up until that scene. But yeah, it's just, and it's the darkest of the 3 original trilogy, and yeah, it's just such a special film to me. And it's also another thing I've shared with my dad because he got me into Star Wars to begin with as well.
It really is a fantastic movie. Like, it's timeless. Like, I rewatched all the movies last year, leading up to Rogue One, and I did again the year before for Force Awakens. And Empire, like, they're all great, right?
Yeah.
And people have their issues with Jedi and all that. But Empire is almost just like that could have come out yesterday and would still be as good, I think.
Yeah.
It's just, unreal.
And that beginning Hoth battle is just fantastic.
Oh, epic. And gave us one of the most fantastic characters in the whole Star Wars universe, in Dash Rendar. Although he's not
Rainbow.
technically in Empire Strikes Back, but
Dead
he
son.
was there. He was there on Hoth during the battle.
I was going
No,
to say
he's
that I
been
can't
renowned
remember
as
Jar Jar
It's
from
not
there, but
canon. It's not canon. If you want to, not canon.
He doesn't exist.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Milton.
Doesn't
I know.
exist, Jack.
Yeah,
I
he's
know,
not canon
it hurts. Don't mention it. Don't remind me.
maybe yet.
Yeah.
Somebody will bring him back.
God, I hope so. That'd
Definitely.
be magic.
They brought back
That'd be
Thorn.
magical.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
I haven't seen it in ages, but I'm sure we're going to be seeing it in a project we're going to be doing soon, huh, Dylan?
You can talk about it. It's in the fucking
Yeah.
ad.
Yeah.
No,
We do a Star Wars podcast.
October 27th, we have a Star Wars podcast coming out. You can week by week we'll be watching all the movies 1 through 6 again. Watch along with us. We're going to talk about them. It'll be great. There
What
you go.
about
There's
Rogue
my
One?
plug.
Are you not going to watch that
So
again?
eight
Rogue
movies
One's in
now,
it,
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, it's going to be 8 episodes. So from October 20, whatever I said, 7th, I think that was my guess. It might be 26th. Through to December 16th or no, 5th.
Whenever
Through to 8
Whatever
weeks
day
later.
Last Jedi's out.
Listen to the ad. You'll get all the information.
The day after Last Jedi's out, we'll have the last episode.
Sorry to put you on the spot, Dylan.
So fuck.
We should have known this would come up. A Star Wars movie would come up.
Should it not be the 9th episode the day after The Last Jedi comes out?
Yeah, I suppose it'll
Yep.
be 9 episodes then.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
It'll be 8
sure.
episodes leading up to Last Jedi, and then the 9th episode will be Last Jedi.
Okay, Ash, you're
Thank
next.
you.
I'm glad you got that organised before you wanted to talk about it.
Well, suspending off somebody else's pick, I'm going to say Scott Pilgrim vs. the World by Edgar Wright. Out 2010, starring Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's like got an incredible supporting cast. People like Brie Larson, Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Audrey Presler, Brandon
Kieran
Routh,
Culkin.
Jason Schwartzman, Megan
Kieran-
Whitman.
Don't forget about Kieran Culkin.
Kieran Culkin is like the star of that movie. I
He's
mean,
fantastic.
He like steals every scene he's in. I can't believe he's not working more after that.
He's
But,
fantastic.
Yeah. I love the comics by Brian Lee O'Malley, and I think this is probably the closest I've ever seen to like a direct adaptation of the panels of comics. Because somehow they've managed to not only find people who look like the characters, but who actually are good at acting. The soundtrack in that movie
Michael
is
Cera
incredible.
good at acting?
Yes.
He is in that movie.
He was perfect for playing Scott
He's
Pilgrim. 'cause
great.
If you've read the comics or graphic novels, I mean, it was made for Michael Cera.
Yeah, it
because
was.
that's how that character is. It's not-
Yeah, I think Michael
Everyone's got a bit
Cera
of a
is just
stigma against
a
Michael
character.
Cera.
yeah.
I think that movie though is the least Michael Cera we've had in movies.
Yeah.
Like
If you want to see the least Michael Cera, watch This Is the End, where Michael Cera slaps Rihanna on the ass
sorry,
and
yeah,
then
no,
just
that's
punches the wall. And he's doing coke in the bathroom.
That's not my phone. Oh wait, it's
That's the least Michael Cera.
True.
Yeah, I saw Scott Pilgrim and it didn't really resonate with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. See, I only just saw it recently. I only saw it for the first time probably... Oh, it would have been a year ago, actually, just about. When we went to... we went overseas to Fiji, and it was it was one of the plane movies. And I started it, and... Because I'm like... Everyone talks about this movie. All the video game people love this movie. They're like, this is the greatest video game movie. I'm like, I have to watch this movie. Yeah, I'm like, I have to watch this movie. I've never watched it, and I put it on, and because I was always sorry, and I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy that. But I love Michael Cera, and I love Kieran Culkin, and I'm like, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to try it. And I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. I watched it on the way over, and I watched it on the way back. Fantastic.
I went to the cinema 3 times, I think, and watched it.
Yeah, I saw it at least twice in the movies.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I wished I'd seen it once more in the cinema. It's one of these movies that it's like I own the Blu-ray and I can watch it, but I'm like,
How many copies of the Blu-ray do you own?
maybe 2.
Steelbook.
And I own a blow up.
That's a
I own a
strength.
blow up guitar that I got from a pre-order at a different store just to get the blow up guitar.
Why didn't you just only go ahead with one?
and
version?
I own the copies of the comic books twice because they started releasing them.
Oh yeah, I need to get the color.
They got the
copies, yeah.
coloured editions out, so I was like, well, I got to buy them again, I guess.
My only issue with that movie is that it should have been 2 movies. Because
There's no way that would have been made into 2 movies. Just
No, I know,
Financially, it
but
made no
like
sense.
in a perfect world, it should have been
In a
because they
perfect
rushed
world,
through
yeah.
like the last.
Does the
hour and a
movie
half.
adapt the whole comics, like the whole span?
yeah, the whole
It-
6 issues.
No, it
yeah.
came out
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
last.
It came out before the
One
last
was
one
out,
was
yeah.
released.
But they knew
and
what was
the
gonna
last
happen.
one's. He knew
ending's
what was going to
completely
happen.
different,
The ending's different though.
Okay.
A little
than
bit.
the comic.
Thomas.
And it was sort of set up to go a different way, but they changed it.
Yeah, it's all right though. Great
Yep.
movie. 2 Edgar Wrights on this list so
Yeah,
far.
I know.
Not bad. Maybe I should have included Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
You can still alter your
You've
list.
still got time.
I was actually looking to see if Scott Pilgrim was available on Comixology Unlimited, because I could start that.
Could be.
Number 2 on my list is Anchorman.
Good choice.
Good choice.
For relatively similar reasons, although I think you slightly more widely agree with me this time.
Yeah.
Like, fantastic, feel-good sort of movie. There's an element of nostalgia. It makes you laugh every time.
I don't know if you know, but
it's better when you know the jokes.
we have.
and-
It's a good pick because the audio cue that's ripped in the intro song for this podcast
It's funny.
It
is
comes
directly
from
from
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
Pleasure Town.
I
me to
don't know
Pleasure
how
Town.
they managed it, but that entire movie is quotable in
Yeah.
Yeah.
some respect.
Why do you go back to where you belong on Horror Island?
You know I don't speak Spanish. I'd say that whenever somebody says something that I don't understand. Like,
Did you like
even
the
at work.
sequel? Because I didn't think it was very
No,
good.
it was
I went
bad.
and
was
saw
okay.
it in
It
the
was okay.
movies. I saw it in the movies, and I remember walking out going, "It wasn't really Anchorman." And then I didn't think about it ever again.
It was like half bad. Yeah, it was
But I
like
enjoyed
It
all
was
the
all
trailers.
bad.
They tricked me.
I enjoyed
the
my time
trailers.
with it.
And then it was over.
The pacing was off to me. Like the first one, pacing was like the comic timing and everything was perfect, and all the performances. Like no one in that movie was a huge star apart from Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate when it came out.
Oh, Paul Rudd was
Now
pretty
they're
big.
all pretty well
He was in
known, I
Clueless
think.
before that.
Steve Carell.
He was on the Daily Show.
Paul Rudd.
but
Steve
then
Carell
he
had
got
done a few things.
Steve Carell
Not
had
really.
been on.
Steve
the
Carell was
Daily
starting
He's now,
to
yeah.
do things, but he wasn't leading movies like he was afterwards.
Vince Vaughn was pretty big.
Yeah, Vince
Okay,
Vaughn.
well, I'm not talking about Ben Stiller and Vince
They're
Vaughn.
like cameo
Jack Black.
actors.
Jack Black
Like
was
Luke
also.
Wilson shows up and all that. Yeah.
Jack Black was in there, so
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
One of the
yes.
girls I work with hadn't seen Anchorman. I'm like,
It's interesting that movie did so badly when it came out. Like,
Yeah, that's the
critics
thing.
hated it.
like that's it. It's one of those ones that bombed, but
Yeah.
you know, made all its money like DVD release and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I
people
think it's
just love
another. It's probably the second DVD that I own as well, which is potentially why it's number 2 on the list.
Did
He
you
just
walk over to your
stared at his
DVD?
DVDs on his shelf went, top 5 movies,
Oh,
they
1,
say.
2, 3, 4, 5. I've got all of you right here.
Had to go down to the Blockbuster and pick one up just to meet the quota.
It's probably like a good shout out to Judd Apatow and the work that he
Yeah,
does
I
as
think
well.
so.
I think he produced
McKay,
it,
yeah.
maybe.
I think it was directed by McKay or
Yeah, and there's sort of that troupe that make
yeah.
mostly very good movies and mostly featuring a very similar cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
All right, Jack.
Nicholas. Number 4 on my list is. What are you shaking your head for?
Because you did the Nicholas thing again. I was waiting for Nick to do
Oh,
his
yeah.
fucking... I was
That's my
expecting
name.
Nick to just say it again.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
There it is.
Continue.
Number 4 on my list is a movie in a quadrilogy, I guess you'd call it.
Alien 4.
Fuck that.
Crystal Skull.
The definitive movie in this. Close. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is number 4 on my list. My favourite Indiana Jones, but I don't think. I mean, you could
My
argue.
favourite too, so I'll accept
Yeah, it's my
it.
favourite.
I like Raiders.
Fantastic, man. Then there's no debate. I know it's Jono's as well.
There's no debate.
I think it's just an amazing movie, start to finish. I think it's the perfect Indiana Jones movie. It's got the right amount of,
Order them. Order them.
Sean Connery.
yeah, it's got-
Order the movies.
Oh, it goes Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Temple of Doom,
Temple of Doom.
Young Indiana Jones, and then the Nintendo 64 Indiana Jones game.
And that's the rest of your list.
And then the Uncharted series. Then the
Whoa,
and
Uncharted series that low?
And then Crystal
I'll
Skull, yeah.
accept this list.
The Uncharted movie that hasn't been made yet, and then Crystal Skull.
Yeah, easily.
I think Temple of Doom's the worst of the originals.
Yeah,
as
I
well,
agree,
like.
100%. Yeah, it was just not a Indiana Jones. I mean, it was, but it
Too
wasn't
much
like
paranormal
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It was a bit too.
It was too dark.
Yeah. I really love The Last Crusade. I think it's just it really like my favorite type of like paranormal sort of things when it comes to like horror movies or any kind of movie that uses a paranormal thing is when they tie it into religion. I just find it really fascinating to. It's the most believable sort of thing to me. If like when you talk about angels and demons, rather than it being like a demon, like a monster or something.
Plus that-
Tom Hanks film.
Yes, like that. But yeah, it's so similar. So, but like
That big old religion box killed a bunch of Nazis in the first one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why I love Raiders as well. Big old religion box. I really like you know that's why I really like the fucking hell, what are they called? The
Holy
movie.
Grail?
The scary movies that we talk about. The
Poltergeist.
The ghost movies and stuff?
yeah, the ones with
Paranormal?
the people. No, the other ones.
It.
Conjuring.
The Conjuring series because it's got the religious thing. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Last Crusade is awesome. It's got it's got Sean Connery for one. That's absolutely fantastic. It's got it's an epic story. Like it's the Holy Grail. It's it's big and massive, and it's got so many like touching parts and great characters and great villains and twists, and I just think it's fantastic. It's got some of the best scenes that in the franchise. That the whole tank on the horses, that whole sequence is just like it's tense, so tense.
The best scene in any Indiana Jones movie is the scene where he shoots the whip fucker.
That's a great
Lasso
scene, but
movie
I
in the
don't
first
think
movie.
it's better than the
scene.
tank chase, or even like that at the end where he's going through like the trials or whatever to get through to the room of the Holy Grail, and he's got to like he's taking the learnings of that his father's tried to teach him over the years and picking up on things, and his dad's sort of talking to him as he's like he's like Jova, and he's like, and he goes J and go, oh, Jova begins with an I, and then the thing breaks, and and he's like going through, and then the leap of faith and the penitent man, and like I think it's an amazing movie.
I feel like I don't need to go and watch it now after you've given me all that.
Spoilers, they find the Holy Grail.
Yeah, you chose wisely. Yeah, it's fantastic. Harrison Ford, Sean Connery.
Would you like to guess the only Indiana Jones movie I've seen?
If
Crystal Skull.
you say the Crystal Skull, I'm going to slap the piss out of you.
I'm not going to say anything then.
Oh, I won't slap the
Extra
piss out
Live,
of you.
November 4th. You can watch Jack slap the fuck out of Tom.
Jono,
$2,000.
Jack will donate that.
Yeah. What number are we up to?
the next
Yeah,
one
the
on your
second
list.
one.
4. Yeah. I'm gonna go with. Well, Ash already mentioned it. So 500 Days of Summer. Not much more to add. But
Oh wow!
Yeah.
A double
I got to
up.
watch
The-
this movie.
Yeah, me
The-
too.
Fuck.
Yeah,
the dance
gee,
sequence
that's
is one
so
of my
good.
favorite scenes in any movie. I
Then
love
it
it every
kills
time.
you.
It always makes me happy. It's so. It's done so well. Like the contrast of moods and just they didn't have to show a sex scene. They just show her in the bed, and then the next day he gets up and he goes for that street walk, and it's so good.
His
And it's so
pants.
surreal and funny and hilarious.
It's like the opposite of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, it works.
Has anyone, just on the side note, has everyone seen the video that Machinima did of that scene where he's walking down the street,
No.
clicking and stuff without the music from Spider-Man
sure.
3?
I've seen that.
Oh my god, it's great. Search that out.
Yeah. Hannah and I walked into our wedding reception to that song. It's so good. Hall & Oates. Shout out to Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
What
That's
I want,
DuckTales,
you
but it's very
got.
similar. It's got the same
It is very
bass line.
similar.
It's got the same bass line. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Hello. I mean, Nicholas.
Hello.
My number 4, Devil's Rejects, directed by Rob Zombie, 2005.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
I love this movie a lot. And this is probably like.
Is that the one where they say fuck
I did
a
not
lot?
see this coming.
Like the
Where they
most?
say fuck a lot? Oh, they probably say fuck a lot.
Isn't that every Rod
Yeah, I
zombie
think
movie?
like the record for the most.
There's a
in
violent
one
movie. Mr. Ashley over there. I should need to check your ID before you see this one in the cinema. So I love all the characters. They're like some of my favorite like evil characters because they're just so outlandish and ridiculous. And so this is so weird because I've had people like I've watched this movie so many times. I've watched it in my parents' house. And like had people like walking while I'm watching in the lounge room, and they'll be like, "Oh, like disturbed on what's happening on the screen." I've watched it so many times. I just sit there, and it doesn't even, like it doesn't scare me. It doesn't whatever anymore. I'm just like enjoy it. So the characters don't even like weird me out anymore.
Concerning.
The line "Too
Yeah, it's
fucking
concerning,
fruity"
yes.
is one of my favorite lines from any movie. It makes me laugh. Rob Zombie has his own style to horror movies and stuff, and I like his Halloween. Halloween 2 was terrible, but I
Yeah,
like his
I
original
agree.
Halloween, and he does have he has a certain style which he kind of gets going here. The soundtrack's great. I love the soundtrack.
I love
to this.
Freebird at the end. The use of
Free,
that.
yeah, free. I was about to say the use of Freebird at the end is one of my favorite ending scenes to any movie ever because you basically get the entire song, and the song's like 6 fucking minutes, and they draw it out for so long, but it's just such a great ending. But yeah, it's just one of the most like stylish horror. I don't know. I call it more of a thriller, like
Yeah.
a thriller action. It's got gore in it here and there and stuff like that. But compared to the first one, because it's a
Oh yeah,
technically
so
a
much
sequel
better.
to House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, I was going to ask
House
you,
of a
how do you
Thousand-
feel about House of a Thousand
House of a
Corpses?
Thousand Corpses is an okay movie
At
that
best.
has a terrible ending.
Yeah. I
Like
agree,
it starts
100%.
out pretty good, and then the ending goes batshit crazy, and then they just he retconned it when he made the sequel. Like the last 20 minutes, half an hour of House of a Thousand Corpses never happened, and this is a sequel. If you forget the last half an hour, and you kind of just go, "All right, fair enough."
Yeah, I saw
anyway,
Devil's Rejects before House of a Thousand Corpses, and I wish I hadn't seen House of a Thousand Corpses.
I watched them in the I saw House first,
Yeah.
and I went into Devil going, like maybe it'll be okay, like maybe it won't go ridiculous towards the end, but it's like a completely different movie. It is more of a thriller, crime,
Yeah.
action, like road trip movie with a bunch of fucked up psychopaths but the other thing is like all the good characters, I hate them too. I hate every character in this movie.
Yeah.
But not like a bad hate. I'm just like, you're bad. You're bad. The cop's bad. These people are obviously all fucked up because they're like fucking dead bodies and shit. Like, let's just... But it's so enjoyable and stylish because it's like a grindhouse
Yeah,
horror film or something. But yeah, Devil's Rejects.
good choice. My next movie is, in my opinion, Scorsese's best, and a movie that has started my fascination and obsession with
Is it with
Boston
one of your
and the
bands,
New
you know?
England area, and that is The Departed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, it got me into the Dropkick Murphys as well.
I was about to say, that's because I knew you liked the Dropkick
Yeah.
Murphys, so as soon as you started saying Scorsese, I'm like, it has to be. Yeah, the only reason I listened to that band is because I got them from that movie too, so.
Side note, Dropkick Murphys are fucking awesome.
Agreed. Yeah, that movie is it's got it all. The action, the drama, just even the acting. Putting on the accents are believable. And
Yeah, the full Boston accent.
Mark Wahlberg in that
Mamata.
movie, I reckon that's his best role.
Mark
That was
Wahlberg.
Martin Scorsese's first win, like finally earned an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah.
Like, he'd been nominated so many
Which
times.
is
and finally
odd
won
because
that,
it's an adaptation, not a original
Well,
movie.
yeah,
too.
it's also one of Have you watched the ones that
I
it's
haven't,
based on?
no.
Okay,
Infernal
they're
Affairs.
they're okay.
Yeah.
But it's one of these weird scenarios where The Departed is actually way better than both those movies,
Yeah.
and it's like a remake that's. I'm like, I can't argue.
Yeah.
You did
Fucking
good job.
nailed it.
And it's got the twists and turns too, and it doesn't end the way that you expect it to end. Either.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, I absolutely love that movie.
me too.
Only just missed out on getting into my top 5. It's like one of my first honourable mentions.
Haven't seen it.
You should do that.
Get
You
onto
should
that.
seriously do that. Watch it tonight.
It's on my list.
It's on Netflix.
I probably won't watch
You
it
need to
tonight.
rewatch it.
I
Please
wouldn't
do.
have thought it was made in 2006, though.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would
It's
have.
just
a while ago.
that cast. Like, what a fucking awesome cast.
It's
got
probably
Leo,
one of- it was
Damon,
one of,
Wahlberg.
Nicholson's last.
Nicholson.
movie
Alec
as
Baldwin?
well.
God, amazing. Perfect. Like, the performances
Mark
in that movie are
Wahlberg,
just...
one of my favorite Mark Wahlberg performances too.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
Oh,
too.
what about in the
Shut
other
the fuck up,
guys?
dickhead. Was I talking to you? Like,
Yeah. He's
The other
just
guys
so,
was pretty
like...
good.
he's funny in
Ah.
that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, no spoilers because Tom will actually watch it.
Yeah.
Round 3,
Magnificent.
Ashley.
TVC.
Go easy one. The Dark Knight. 2008, directed by Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Aaron Eckhart. It's Batman. It's the best Batman. End of
Wrong.
story.
Bane.
I like Dark Knight Rises more.
Oh.
No, you don't.
But
I do.
the Joker.
Really?
Yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, but look, this is. I always have to explain to people like when you do it, like if you're like in your professional like looking cinephile opinion, which is better, and I'm like Dark Knight. Which one is your personal favorite of the trilogy? I'm like
Okay.
Rises.
Yeah.
No, I kind of.
So
I personally don't
People
like
are
him.
allowed to be
I
wrong,
don't like
Dylan.
Bale as
Yeah,
Batman.
people are allowed to be wrong. It's true. What do you think's the best Batman movie, Nick?
My
Batman
favorite, like not like best isn't like the best movie, but my favorite because it's the first one I watched was I always get
89
Forever or Returns wrong. It's the one with Two-Face and Riddler.
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
With
By the way,
Kiss
none
by
of
a
these-
Rose.
None of my favorite Batman movie is an animated one. Like that's my legit answer.
Oh yeah,
None
no,
of the
I
Nolan
really like
ones
the
or
Dark
anything.
Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns Part 1 or 2, if
Yeah.
you sit down and you watch those movies back to back, is the best Batman movie.
That's my favorite Batman story too.
10 out of 10. Yeah. That's my answer to that question.
Interesting.
Fuck you, Nolan, you hack.
Great. We're never going to have Christopher Nolan in our show podcast.
Also, shout out to Hans Zimmer's score for Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the best movie scores.
And that scene where they blow up that hospital,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
It is.
Dark Knight's definitely. It's definitely my favorite Batman movie. I've watched it so many bloody times. I think it's just awesome. Like the start of that movie is like just it's epic. Like that, I love the opening of that movie. Like when over the
Yeah.
city and then in the bank and stuff, and just sets the tone for that pace. It's great. Great call.
Tom.
Is it me again?
Yeah.
We did
I
this
said
5
your
times
name.
each.
Pick the
Sorry, did we wake you?
pick the thing. No, I was actually thinking.
He's
about
so busy
Batman.
looking up all
He's
these
like,
movies.
it wasn't a fucking Marvel movie. Don't talk about your DC ones.
Well.
And you fucking...
No,
Oh.
not true. I don't know if I've said before, but I went back to back on the Batman trilogy when 3 came out.
You did the full cinema thing?
Yeah, the full cinema
Yeah, I did
thing.
too.
And
Yeah,
then
it's fucking long.
I walked
long.
I walked out of Rises. Some friends of mine were showing up because I worked in the bar at the time. They were showing up for a 3 a.m. screening.
Yeah.
Straight back into the queue with them, in for a second round. So I spent
Oh
Yeah,
Jesus
no,
Christ!
fuck
12
that.
hours
Doing,
in this one cinema
doing
watching
begins.
4 Batman
By the time
films.
begins through the Dark Knight Rises ending, I got home and was like, I'm done. That was a long. That's a lot of time in cinema chairs.
I think it was like a 6 p.m. start.
Yeah, so was mine.
To time up for a midnight release of the last movie,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the last movie's like 3 hours long, so I was there till
Yeah.
like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't turn around and go back in. Good job though. Good effort.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Maybe I'm a bigger movie fan than you are.
Yeah.
Seems that
Hey,
way. Yeah.
speaking
Actually,
of
I think
Christopher-
Rises is the first movie I saw at the movies with Stacey.
Oh yeah.
is that how the
Holds a
timeline
special
checks
place.
out?
Did you hold a hand?
Maybe. I'll have to check this.
Check.
Stace, did I hold your hand? No, Christopher Nolan theme Interstellar is the next movie on my list.
I have issues
Yeah, I like
with that.
Interstellar.
This
Great
sounds good.
film.
I like Interstellar.
It's okay.
I love space. Cool story. I cry every time, a number of times through the movie.
I cry every
the
time.
ending is so
That's
bad.
the scene.
Yeah, I
the
know.
scene where he cries. I know the internet's ripped at the shit, and you'd think it would make me like not get emotional. But
Oh, that's-
even
yeah,
though
that's
there's so
fucking
many
emotional, that
gifs
scene.
and stuff, every time, still in context, like the way that scene is in the movie,
Watching the
I still
daughter's
cry.
video.
My favourite
Still
part of
cry.
that movie is where Michael Caine says that poem, and that's my favourite poem of all time, the Rage into the Night, Don't Fade Away thing.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie, but the ending ruined it for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the ending. That
And
makes
the
sense.
score was I have issues with the
That's
silly.
score.
I couldn't
It's great.
hear half the stuff
Score's
that
great.
was happening
Yeah,
in some of the
that's
scenes.
what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, the mix wasn't great.
I love
Turn
in
the
that movie
volume down
that
a
it gave Topher Grace another gig. So bring back Topher Grace.
Topher Grace needs more gigs.
Hashtag bring back Topher Grace.
Yeah,
Topher Grace for Venom.
he was the girlfriend, he was the girlfriend, boyfriend of
Boyfriend.
someone. Yeah. He didn't do anything in that movie, but he was there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd like.
Did that cameo in that movie like take you out of it?
No.
Like the unannounced stuff?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. No,
Oh, Matt Damon.
no, it's fine. I was like, oh, I didn't expect you here. Cool, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I had
He's
that.
been in a million memes now about
Yeah, I
saving
think I had
Matt
that
Damon
spoiled
from
from me.
space.
Yeah, I think I had that bit spoiled for me before I saw the movie. So I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
okay, Matt
It was
Damon's
a
great.
shock watching it, but it didn't take me out of it. I was like, oh, Matt Damon, like, he wasn't on the poster. You'd think they... Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, like, side note real quick. Because it's like, usually with big stars like that, even if the director or something doesn't want them to be, the marketing team will just get a hold of it and
Yeah.
they'll push them and put them in the trailer and stuff like that. So Nolan must have a firm grip.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he does, because they were trying to get Nolan to make The Last Dark Knight and Interstellar into 3D, because they were coming out when 3D was still
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
word.
And he's
And he
like,
was
"Fuck
like,
that."
if you want my movies, I don't make 3D. Fuck off. And Nolan has that presence.
Yeah.
But it's like I went and saw Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yeah.
And
There's a cameo.
they didn't want what's the fuck
Channing
spoiled?
Tatum.
No, not Channing Tatum. Mental blanking on his name. What's the
Are you
main
gonna
dude?
spoil something? Because I
British
haven't
dude.
seen it yet.
Oh,
No, the fucking main
Oh,
dude.
He's in the
Colin Firth.
trailer. Yeah.
Colin Firth.
Ah, okay.
They didn't want Colin Firth on the poster, in the trailers. Like, they wanted the reveal that he's still alive to be a secret, but the
So, I guess
promotional team were just
Spoilers
like,
from the
no,
first
fuck
movie.
it.
I didn't
No,
know he was
fuck
in
it.
that
If it's
movie.
on
You've
the
had
poster.
enough time, Jack.
I didn't know he was in that movie till I read your review, Dylan. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the
He's
poster.
in the trailer.
Yeah,
he's
well,
on
I
every
avoided the
poster,
poster.
and the trailer. So at that point,
And in every
that.
article, probably
yeah.
about the film.
So it's like, it's not a spoiler.
I just got back from going to see that film, and actually, I quite enjoyed it. And I remembered nothing about the first film, and it does a lot to catch you up during the film. Like, oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's right. And Colin Firth appears. I was like, oh, what's he doing with that eye patch on? Oh, that's kind of weird. And then it does the flashback of him getting shot in the head. I was like, that's right. Oh, that's right. Samuel L. Jackson was in the first one. I remember now.
Oh man.
All right.
Whose pick is it?
Jack.
Oh fuck. Number 3 on my list is another movie in a trilogy of movies that, thank God, they haven't made another addition
Back to the
to
Future.
it. Back to the Future 2 is number 3 on my list. Back to the Future 2 is probably the movie I've watched the most in my life. I reckon I've watched that movie.
I'm surprised it's a 3.
You're surprised it's at 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched that movie probably 500 times. Like, not even exaggerating. I know the movie.
I think you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I swear to God.
No, I don't think he is.
No, I swear to God. This is when I was like a toddler. I would like get up, have breakfast or whatever, and the routine would be Back to the Future 2 into the fucking tape thing. I had the. We got them from like a Video Easy or something back. They were like X rentals and the hardcover or whatever, and VHS into thing, and I would watch it like all day, every day. And I remember not having Back to the Future. Like I hadn't seen Back to the Future 1. Like I saw Back to the Future 2 first before so I had 2 and 3, and I never saw 1. And I just like those movies, 1 and 2 specifically. They're like perfect. Like 3 has its problems and is not as.
I
good.
like all of them, but 1 stands like several yards apart from 2 and 3 to me. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy them all, sure,
Yeah.
but 1 is like, I can watch 1 as a package,
Yeah.
just like be done and never have to be like, oh, since I started watching 1 today, I might as well watch 2 tomorrow or something like
Yeah.
that. Just watch 1.
I reckon
Yeah, I can
3 is my
understand.
favourite.
Crazy, you're crazy. I can understand how people have that opinion, Dylan. Definitely. I just love 2. Like, I love the future thing, the flying DeLorean, the hoverboard comes into it. Like, it's everything that.
Century.
Yeah, say again.
Seth Century. Sorry, I was just shouting out to the song.
No,
That's
you're
what
right.
I'm looking for. Dear Science.
It's like everything sensory overload for a
Kid.
3-4-year-old, yeah, all the way through. Like I know those. Like you can put those movies on, and you could have it on mute, and I would be able to, like, speak the whole movie. Like I know those movies off by heart. They're just, oh my god, I love them. I absolutely love those movies. Back to the Future 2, great, fantastic,
Awesome. Jono.
Rocky. I love it.
Rocky.
I had a hard
I love it.
time
Fair enough.
picking
That's
between
fine.
Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky. I don't know.
You got the Rocky
It's-
up in behind you.
I think
No,
that
5 is bad.
5 is
Yes,
bad.
5
5
is
is
bad.
like, I don't even consider it a Rocky movie because it's so bad. I just go for
Rocky Balboa.
Creed.
I didn't like much either. Creed is good. So there's like 2 skips for me.
Yeah.
Creed
Creed is like
forward
the
to Creed 2.
Creed is
yes.
great.
Creed is the
Haven't seen
best
Creed
film
yet.
of all of them, I think. And Rocky's probably
Really?
Yeah,
I still
think
reckon
so.
Rocky's better than Creed.
I think Rocky. So the first Rocky's my favorite, but it's not the best. I think because it's so slow to watch now. It's quite difficult to
Yeah, it
introduce
is
to a younger
plotting,
person.
isn't it? Yeah.
But that's kind of part of the charm. It's they filmed it with like no budget. Sly wrote the script.
Yeah,
And
he kept getting passed up. Like studios kept telling him to piss off because he's like, I have to play Rocky. They're like,
He used that porn actor money to make that film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. But it's just such a great story. Like, and spoilers for a movie that came out in 1976, I believe, or 7.
About to say the ending.
It's not. He doesn't. It's not about him winning the fight. It's about just proving himself, like
Spoilers, he doesn't win
beating
the fight.
Beating his demons.
himself,
yeah.
because he had no
If
business.
pop culture hasn't taught you that,
He had no business even being there, and then he goes the distance with Polly.
Also gave us one of the all-time greatest songs that people now use for
Yeah, they're
basically
gonna fly now.
everything.
The training montage. Like,
Dun-dun,
I don't know
dun-dun,
if
dun-dun.
they invented the training montage, but they may as well have because it was a
may
staple
as
of the
well.
Rocky movies. And
That side note, that's my victory song.
yeah, I mean,
what?
What
do you mean your victory song?
Well, when I have a victory, that's my
Yeah, but
song.
what?
What do you win at?
Life. Like if I do something good, I get a good win in life. I give myself a little. I go. So like.
when he knocked up Sal.
True story. When I found out, no shit, this is a real thing. Like, so I have like, it's just something that someone taught me like years and years and years ago. My first sales job. He's like, you need a victory song. Like, what the fuck is a victory song? It's like when you get a win in sales or whatever in your job in life, have a victory dance. Have your song, have that song in your head, and do whatever you have to do. And so, like, if I get a win, it's do some boxing stuff, and it's and arms up in the air like I'm at the top of the steps. I'm like,
yeah.
my
My victory
but
song.
when I
would
found out I
actually-
was having a boy, that was what I did. I was like,
Mine would be the actual victory song in that franchise, which is called The Final Bell. It's the one that I played when I hit my publishizer goal last year.
That's awesome.
At the end of the fight in the movie.
Why'd
But
you
yeah,
hit
I
your
mean,
publisher?
Publicize the target, I think is what he meant to say.
yeah, I said publishizer goal.
He struck him.
If you didn't know, Nick, Jono's actually published a book. It's called The Spy and the Maven.
It's pretty good.
Rocky's a great
should buy
movie.
it.
You might want to read it. Yeah.
There you go. Tom just held up a
shameless
copy
plugging.
for people who aren't.
Solid,
Watching, which
solid
is everyone.
video cue. Apologies for our audio listeners, who is
There's
100%
there's
of
a
our audience.
bookmark in there.
Nice. I can see you're doing very
Is this
well
the
there.
fastest you've ever read a book?
No comment.
I found it hard to pick because Rocky 2 and 3 I think are more rewatchable. They've got like
The Eye of the
No, I
Tiger.
disagree.
they hold up a bit better. Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. Mr. T's awesome as B.A. Barabbas, and the montages in those movies are really good too. Like Rocky 4 in Russia. I'm so
Dolph
psyched.
Lundgren.
Even
He
Rocky had a
Dies. He
montage.
dies.
I've seen
The
none
scene
of
where they're
those
running on the
films.
beach. The montage on the beach
when
is
they
the
jump
best
into
training
they
montage.
jump into the
one.
waves.
Yes, that is the best one of all the movies. Yeah.
Dylan.
Rocky. Number 3. Mallrats. Kevin Smith. 1995.
Yeah, good call.
Another movie where it's just like I can watch it infinite amount of times, not get bored, makes me laugh. It's great. Kevin Smith, one of my favorite directors. It's hard to pick.
That's your favorite Kevin Smith movie?
Yeah, Mallrats is my favorite Kevin Smith movie. Why are you gonna say Clerks?
I was going to
'Cause
say
my fucking-
it's the worst of his good movies, but okay.
Huh? I don't think it's technically his best movie. It's my favorite of his movies.
I'd put
a
Chasing
completely different
Amy
list.
in Clerks.
I think
Well,
Chasing Amy is Kevin Smith's best movie.
Chasing Amy.
It's not it's not my favorite
Sure.
Kevin Smith movie though.
My only
That's-
criticism of Chasing Amy is there's not enough Jane Silent Bob.
Chasing Amy, yeah, no.
To be fair though, that's my criticism for every movie. Not enough Jane Silent Bob.
I'd go like Chasing
What about
Amy,
Jane Silent Bob
Chasing
Strike
Amy,
Back?
Not
Clerks,
enough. Never enough.
Not enough?
Not enough.
Okay.
Sorry, going on.
Dogma.
Yeah, Dogma.
I think Dogma's
Fuck.
my favourite.
But yeah,
I knew I forgot something.
But we're doing favorite movie. Favorite, not like best. So it's like his homage to nerds. Like there's so many. It's like infinite amount of pop culture references and stuff like that. It's great.
Say, would
Jason
you like a
Lee,
chocolate covered pretzel?
Yeah. I use that so like that's my favorite. That's like one of my go-to lines, and it's so hilarious to say to people if they don't know the reference you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
would you like a chocolate covered pretzel? They're like, the fuck are you on
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Michael Ricker's like, "Nom, nom, nom."
And then I put my hand down my ass. No. Yeah, so all the parodies and stuff are great in it. Like it parodies a bunch of movies. If it's like the three nipples on the girl and stuff like that.
Total Recall or whatever.
And you get a good amount of Jane Silent Bob, which is
Yeah,
always
fucking
great, of
oath.
course.
10 out of 10, good call.
Next,
And
Stan Lee's first movie role.
it is too. Yep.
My next film is The Lord of
Tell
the
him,
Rings,
Steve, Dave.
The Two Towers.
Two Towers.
Two Towers, the worst of them.
What? Are you
Yes.
serious?
What?
Yes.
none of them were
crack?
good.
No.
No.
That movie is just so epic to me, and
Yeah.
Long.
I love the Two Towers.
just the battles in it, and the just technical marvel, just the drama of them splitting up last movie and them going them separate ways, chasing down Merry and Pippin, and then Frodo trying to get through and get captured by the Rangers and everything. It's just that movie has, yeah, like this is so epic, and I can watch the battle scenes over and over and over again. Helm's Deep, Gandalf come to the rescue and whatnot.
Is this the regular edition or the extended edition?
Obviously.
I haven't watched the extendeds of any of the Lord of the Rings movies because
4 hours is
yeah,
not
be
enough.
fucked.
I'm right there with you, Nick. Two Towers is my favourite of the
Yeah.
of the trilogy. I don't think it's the best movie, but it's definitely my favourite.
My
it's
favourite's
just-
Return of the King.
Yeah, Return of the King's great.
Yeah.
They're both. I mean, all three of them.
The
Awesome
worst
movies.
is the first Hobbit movie, if you want to count.
Yeah, no, we don't need to. No.
I think the second one's worse.
Oh, really?
I never even got to the third one. I was like, you know what?
I watched them all in the cinema.
The third
Me
one
too.
is Billy Connolly in.
I need to go back and watch it then.
I watched the Lord of the Rings films. I saw them each once at the movies. Never
Oh, yeah.
thought about
Here's
them
the
again.
Kiwi.
Isn't it a requirement to
is,
watch them
is
in
it
New
like
Zealand?
a right that you have to
Yeah, I was
watch
going to say,
those
surely
movies?
you have to watch them.
Yeah.
It's like a part of your citizenship
Well,
agreement.
is
or
it-
whatever.
I think I did have
Do
to
you
get to
do you feel about the Lord of the Rings the way I feel about Vegemite, in that New Zealanders feel like they just have to like the Lord of the Rings?
No.
No.
You fucking do
I
you
was
hate
trying to-
Peter Jackson?
I don't hate Peter Jackson.
You look like him today.
I look like him every day at the moment.
Yeah.
Growing this beard out, putting on a bit of weight.
He slimmed
Yeah,
down.
and then I watched in my uni hostel, somebody put on the whatever the third one's called.
Return of the
Return
King.
of the King.
It is Return of the King. I was going to say that, and I was like, too close to Return of the Jedi. Maybe it's not that. They put on the director's cut of that, and this thing felt like it had already been going for fucking 5 hours. And then it pops up with "Please change the disc," and no, fuck you, I'm out of here. I don't give a shit about this film anymore. No, we're done. We're done.
Fuck this!
here.
I'm out. Flips the table.
I don't matter. I don't care what was happening. Like, I wasn't even watching it with a girl. I was watching it with some friends.
Yeah.
I'm gone. I don't have to see the end of this.
Yeah,
That's how Tom looks at it. I wasn't even watching it with a girl.
There's
What's
no,
the fucking point of this?
yeah, no
Time
benefit
wasted.
to me. Yeah, it was time wasted, and that's why I didn't bother with any of the Hobbit films.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I enjoyed the
Hobbit
Hobbit
films
films.
Yeah, me too.
I love that world, that whole universe. Yep. Okay, Ashley.
Whose pick was? Oh, that was your pick. Right.
Yeah, that was fourth. Serenity. So that came out in
Interesting.
2005, directed by Joss Whedon, starring Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk, Miranda Baccarin, Summer Glau,
The ending
Chiwetel
of Firefly.
Ejiofor. Yes, so Firefly was a short-lived show that ran in 2002 on Fox. 14 episodes in, it got
Which is
cancelled.
overrated.
Nick,
Never seen it.
Serenity. I don't think I've even seen it. I've never even heard of this movie.
Are you kidding me?
You never heard of Firefly?
No, I've heard of
You've
Firefly. I've never heard of Serenity.
Oh, okay. You never heard of Serenity.
yeah,
Okay.
so Serenity comes out 3 years after. It's brilliant. I mean,
Is it?
yeah, it's just
The
more
best
of
thing
what I
about
wanted.
the
It's
movie is
So,
impossible.
finally seeing the Reavers in person.
yes, that's,
It's impossible to
yeah.
watch if you've never watched the TV show. I watched it.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I
Me
saw
too,
it before.
yeah.
Same,
so did I.
same. I watched Serenity. Like, it just came out. It was in new release DVDs at the video store.
Yeah.
Rented it. It looked cool. Watched it. This was terrible. I have no fucking idea what's going on. Like, why the fuck do I like this? Bad. Then, like, Google it. Be like, oh, this show from
Yeah.
a couple years ago that I never heard of. Watch Firefly. Rewatch Serenity. Oh. Yeah, they should put on the front cover, only watch this if you've watched Firefly, or else it's just pointless. But yeah, no, Serenity, fair enough. It's fair. It's
Yeah.
fair.
So everybody watched Firefly and Serenity.
How many seasons of
Oh,
Firefly?
no,
have you
sorry.
read?
There's only
I
one.
hadn't-
Half a
There's
season.
a reason it got cancelled.
And then you watch Con Man for the sub kind of.
Isn't there something?
And then
like
watch
you
Con
shouldn't
Air
even
made of
watch
Nicolas Cage.
Firefly in the order that they were released, like they were released out of order, or they're not released.
No, just
chronologically
watch
or
whatever
something?
order they're set in the Blu-ray, on the DVD or Blu-ray.
Okay,
Yep.
fair enough.
All right, Thomas.
I just want to circle back very quickly to Rocky, where I'm fairly certain Jono called Mr. T's character B.A. Baracus, which was his.
Yes, I think it
which was
did.
his
He did too,
character.
yeah.
And,
All right, not bad.
I heard that and I was like, wow, I didn't realise there was some kind of A-Team Rocky so I gave it a quick Google, as I tend to do, and Clubber Lang was
Yes,
his,
Clubber Lang.
was his
Clubber
character. Yeah.
Good pickup. Because I do. Yeah, that. Yeah.
It's the same character. Come on.
Yeah, it is pretty much.
Oh, well, it's Mr. T. It's always he's
So
always
it's the same
just Mr.
character.
T. Yeah. Saving you from all the people on the internet that'll.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
I
Is your
appreciate-
pick,
actually
is your
appreciate
pick
that.
the A-Team movie from like 2011, starring Bradley Cooper?
That was an okay movie.
And Rampage Jackson
Yeah,
and Liam
Yeah.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
and Liam Neeson.
Is that your pick?
And
No,
Charles
that is not
Oakley.
my pick. No,
Okay,
but Liam
what's your
Neeson's
pick?
a
What's your
great
pick?
character. My number 4 on this list is Love Actually.
Yeah.
Wow,
I pay that.
boy, oh boy.
I love
yeah.
that movie.
It's good.
Great film.
movie.
We watch it like religiously every.
It's a Christmas film every
it's
year.
a Christmas film. We've
Yeah.
watched it, I think, every year since it came out. And
I
it's sort of
literally
like-
took that out of my DVD player today to
Yep.
put something else in.
like there are like family friends we go and see on Christmas, and it's a tradition. Fantastic film, great story, put together, all weaves, and they're all characters that are relatable and lovable for the most part. And, yeah,
Except Alan Rickman is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Scumbag.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Not in real life in the movie. His character's a dick.
Well, he's definitely not a dick in real life now, anyway. So
No, well, yes, that's true.
You are correct.
I'll touch on that.
yeah, I don't know what more I've got to say, but
You don't have to say more if you've got
How good
nothing
is Hugh
else to
Grant
say
in
more.
that movie? How good is Hugh Grant in that movie? But it's also got like probably like one of the creepiest, like
Yeah.
the
Fucking,
Andrew Lincoln,
yeah,
The sign
yeah.
holding.
Knightley.
that whole
whatever
thing,
thing.
like
Yeah.
that's fucking weird. And she's like, oh, so my wedding videos, you kind of just stayed zoomed in on me the whole time.
Yeah.
That's not fucking strange at all. And he's like, this creepy dude who can't be around her. And he comes to her house on Christmas and it's got fucking the
Not my
Cue
favorite
cards.
Hugh Grant movie. As a side note,
Yeah.
Hugh
Say
Grant's
again?
best
Fair.
movie is the boy one.
I do.
The boy-
I do enjoy
Hugh-
his.
A boy,
the boy's
the
cool,
boy,
yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
About
Hugh
a
Grant,
boy?
Whatever
the
it's
Hugh
called.
Grant.
About a boy. Thank you.
Oh, About a Boy is fucking awesome. Yes. But no, yeah.
Next.
Anyway, yep.
Yep, Jack.
Number 2 on my list is also from a trilogy that I'm also happy they haven't added to.
Ghostbusters.
No, this is no. Most definitely not. Number
Jurassic Park World.
Jurassic Park World. My number 2 movie is Back to the Future 1.
Probably should have
that
seen
makes
this
sense.
coming.
This is where you put rules in. This is where you put rules in. No,
Why?
only one movie from a franchise.
No,
that's
it's
not-
your
that's
top
not how it
5.
works.
It can be whatever
No,
top
it's
5
fine.
movies you want.
This is my. I mean, I don't need to go into this too much. We've already spoken about Back to the Future as a series. This movie specifically, like I love Back to the Future 2 because it was the first one that I was introduced to, and I watched it hundreds and hundreds of times. And then when I finally, probably.
I think they showed
900
Back to the
hours
Future
that
2
were
way
taken.
more than they showed it.
Yeah,
the original.
because I think it's
TV.
more marketable, like with the hoverboard and the flying DeLorean and all that.
Yeah.
But Back to the Future, when I finally got to see Back to the Future 1 after having seen number 2 100 times, it just opened up everything. Like it made my life complete almost at that point in time.
Like, I can go back in time and nearly fuck my mum.
Yeah. There's some creepy things in it. It's like, why is this teenager hanging around with this crazy old dude? And there's some stuff. But I honestly, I think that movie is perfect. Like, that is a perfect movie. It's funny. It holds up. It's got a great plot. It's got fantastic performances. Michael J. Fox is still, like, one of my favorite actors just because of those movies. Like, I think he absolutely... And the fact that they went, you know what? What was his name? Who they had in beforehand?
I can't remember, but yes.
So the actor
They shot
had,
like half the movie. with a
they
different
shot half the
actor.
movie, and then they're like, because they couldn't get Michael J. Fox because he was doing Family Ties, and they're like,
Robert Zemeckis was eventually one day sitting down watching some B-roll or
Yeah.
something from a Dave shooting and was like,
no,
"This isn't working."
yeah,
at
not
all.
good. Yeah, got to get him out. And so they went and got Michael J. Fox, and it just pushed him to the next stratosphere as far as being a superstar.
There's a documentary out now. Came out a couple of years ago.
I watched it. It's called Back in Time. Yeah,
It's really
Back
good.
in
eh?
time, yeah.
Eric Stoltz. by the way.
Eric
There you
Stoltz.
go.
That's it. Poor old Eric.
Which
Eric
is a
Stoltz.
good actor, by
He's
the
a
way.
great
Everyone
actor,
gives him
but-
shit for this. Good actor, but he just didn't fit for the role. It was
No,
bad
exactly.
casting, so.
But that movie is like the score of that movie is perfect. Like I said, the performances are perfect. I love it. I love those movies, and I love that movie.
Jono.
Can't wait for Jack's number one pick.
Yeah, perfect movie. Number
My
2.
favorite comedy of all time, and number 2 on my list is Dumb and Dumber, and I will never apologize for my feelings for this movie. I actually think it is a legitimately great film. It's clever. It's got one of the funniest scripts that I can think of. It's got heart, and I think that's why the sequel was so awful a couple of years ago.
The sequel is fucking trash.
Yeah.
and
Second or third
I wish
sequel?
I could wash my eyes from that unfunny turd. The prequel,
the prequel.
that went straight to DVD or whatever was 100 times better than the official sequel.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but
Yes.
the sequel, I went to it with, like, the trailers look crap. It had those Anchorman 2 vibes where they were just coming back for the cash grab and whatever.
Anchorman 2 was better
But-
than Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
They made the characters unlikable, and that was the thing in the first one. I feel like they had good intentions. They were just trying to get through life, but they were stupid and hilarious.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's the key difference to me. And I think the first one, like, you want to see Harry and Lloyd do well, and, like, they're just so funny. Like, Jeff Daniels, who knew that he could be so funny? I mean, next to Jim Carrey, those two have, like, amazing chemistry. There's the dream sequences. There's so many, like, little subtle, like, puns and sight gags and things in there that
Want to hear the most
Still make
annoying
me
sound
laugh.
in the world?
Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Dumb and Dumber the one with
The dog car.
the dog car?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The bulldog Shih Tzu cross.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I remember most.
I can't believe they didn't go on the bus at the end.
Awesome soundtrack as well.
Bullshit.
And the cop when the cop pulls them over and
Yeah,
drinks
drinking
the
the
piss.
piss.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it
We've
was
all
the
been there, right, fellas?
Farrelly brothers when they
No.
still knew how to make good movies.
We're funny.
Yeah.
When I watched that as a little kid, the scene that made me lose my crap laughing was the scene where he was losing his crap, like the
Yeah.
toilet scene.
Oh,
as a little kid, that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Like
So
that
good.
him
Sells a
exploding
dead
on the
bird to a
toilet.
blind kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he walks out,
Completely.
the bar and sees the, like, framed newspaper, it says, like, "Man
Yeah.
landed on the moon," and he's like, "We landed on the moon." It gets me.
Almost entirely off topic, but when you said makes you, like, absolutely lose your shit as a kid, Spaceballs. It's not going to appear on anybody else's list, so it's fine to mention it. When they mentioned combing the desert for the guys in Spaceballs, oh, I laughed for an entire.
Fucking
ad
hell, you
break.
had high humour as a kid. I'm laughing at poo jokes.
Laughed for an entire ad break when that was on TV.
Side note: Spaceballs does not hold up.
I watched it.
No, I don't
watched
think it
at the
does
end of
either.
last year.
It's not good
It's
anymore.
fine.
Yeah.
I loved
tried
it as
to
a
watch
kid
I
as
couldn't
well,
get
but
into it.
I tried watching it like 2 years ago, and I was like, nope, does not hold up.
Dylan,
I don't think any of Mel Brooks' movies.
disagree.
Nah, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, Robin
holds
Hood
up.
Men in Tights.
Dracula Dead and Loving It, Blazing Saddles.
I can't laugh. at
Producers.
Blazing Saddles.
I can. It's fantastic.
Oh, what a surprise!
Fuck off, Ash. My number 2 is Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi.
Ah, that makes me so happy.
Wrong.
No, that's. Do you know what? Empire is only just my favorite, but Jedi is so fucking close.
Jedi, I don't. Empire. Okay, so once again, it's like one of those things where I'm like, Empire is the better made movie. Sure, blah 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 blah. Jedi is my favorite movie because you get to see Luke Skywalker
Ewoks.
with a fucking lightsaber, swinging around, doing backflips, heaps of cool shit. He shows up. He like uses the Force. Like it's fine. It's the movie.
He's a
where
badass.
And his daddy has
He's
to
a
come and
badass.
save him.
There's no way, like, especially like because these movies are like stuck in my mind from a kid, and when you watch these as a kid, Empire was my least favorite. I found Empire scary, like it was dark, it was moody, whatever else, you know. So when I was little, this one just stuck out because it was like it's just the action scene at the start. Plus, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
Ewoks. Like I remember, like
Ewoks, yep.
as a kid, I fucking
Ewoks are
loved
awesome.
the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Like so, and I mean that's what they were supposed to do. They
Carrie
were
Fisher
Fisher
in a-
they were
in a
supposed
gold
to
bikini.
attract kids. So, but yeah, Jedi is like the I don't know. People who have problems with it because the Ewoks, I don't.
Ewoks are
understand.
adorable.
I don't really get it. It's fine. But yeah, the whole scene at
got
start,
Neen
Jabba's
Numb?
Palace,
Shut up.
That's a trap!
like that.
That's
So
a trap!
the only scene that they see, I don't really have big problems with the Blu-ray Star Wars releases with like the
the end
DVD
with
changes and stuff like
Hayden
that.
Christensen.
The song scene in Jabba's Palace is the one change in all of the movies that I just can't stand.
Oh, really? I
Yeah, I'm
remember
like,
when they came out on
it's
VHS.
so- yeah, it's
And they're
just fucking annoys me. Because I don't know what. No, I fucking hate it. Because I didn't see it until the Blu-ray release. Because up until then, the ones I had were
The originals.
I still had like my VHS copies or whatever that
Yeah.
were with my dad's, and they must have been like the original ones because I'd never even seen the shit, and I never bought the DVDs when they were out. So I
Hard
just
shot
remember
first.
watching it, just being like, the fuck is going on? Like, where does the scene come from?
What they fucked up with was eventually with the Blu-rays and they adding fucking Hayden Christensen in at the end.
Sebastian Shaw.
That's
No,
what they
I-
fucked up.
No, that's fine by me. It's perfectly fine.
No.
No.
It's fine. It makes
No,
sense.
no.
I have no
Do
issue.
they
No, it
change it
doesn't.
to
It doesn't
Obi-Wan?
make sense.
Huh?
I mean, do they
because-
change it to Ewan McGregor?
No, because like he wanted to, because it was like it's supposed to be like metaphorical. Like they want to show him when he was like good, so they have Hayden Christensen's face there.
No, they fucked
like-
it up.
But that's what he wasn't good.
About
No,
Fat
no, but
Kid?
like when
was
he
good
was
at the end.
before he
Fat
turned
Kid from
evil.
episode 1.
No, but
When
I
you're
mean,
a Jedi
it's,
Ghost, you get to pick what you look like.
it's like one.
Why would you pick to be an old man
It's
then?
like 1 or 2
He was
seconds on
comfortable with
screen,
himself.
and I like of all the things to get angry about, I'd rather get angry about Han treading on fucking Jabba's tail in episode 4, and then,
I
like
love it. And it's like,
yeah, it's like that's like I'd rather get angry about that change than Hayden's face for 1 second on screen.
they only added that scene back in because they wanted to get Boba Fett into that movie.
And he stands in the background, and
does
he's
fuck
there,
all.
and he just walks out, and that's basically Boba Fett's story. He's not as cool as everyone thinks he is.
Sold
That's
10 million
basically
action figures
Boba
though.
Fett in the
I
entire
agree.
series.
Yeah,
agree
Boba
with
Fett
Dylan.
stands in the background, looks cool a bunch, and everyone reckons he's the best Star Wars character ever.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
I love Boba Fett.
Overrated.
Anyway,
Right, Darth Vader.
next.
My next
my
pick
number
is Black Hawk
exist.
Down.
Richard McQuarrie, 1983, by the way. I forgot to say that.
Josh Hartnett. Before he was
Eric Bana.
not
Yep.
famous.
What are we
That-
doing? We're just naming random fucking.
No, we're talking about Black Hawk Down. Are you not paying attention?
Oh, Black
Yeah.
Hawk Down. I didn't
Black
hear
Hawk
you.
Down
I didn't hear
is,
you
in
say
You
my
only said
opinion, a perfect war movie.
Black Hawk Down's fucking
I
awesome.
haven't seen it.
It's shot fantastically. It has the ensemble cast. Like, everyone in that is pretty much a star. Like
Orlando
the
Bloom.
emotion, the interaction between each other, the weight shot. I think it's just a perfect. I wouldn't say a perfect film, but a perfect war film.
The tension of that movie is
Yeah.
fucking palpable. Yeah.
And it also brought to light a conflict that not many people knew about or knew about at the time, too. Yeah, like
I like Black Hawk Down.
I can watch that movie over and over again. Like it's like with Jack with Back to the Future, I can quote it all the time. Yeah, I know. It also, when I watched it at the time, when I was a kid, I wanted to join the army. Not because of that, but like it started my fascination with all that military history and all that kind of stuff as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool. No, it's a great movie. I agree.
Yep. All right, Ashley, round 5.
Round 5. Rounding out. Yeah, let me just bring my notes back up. Princess Bride.
Good.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
that you know
Never
what that
seen
word
it.
means.
1987, directed by Rob Reiner.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, watch it. It's. I remember watching it year 9, I think,
Andre the Giant.
and the English teacher brings out Princess Bride. All the guys like, and then it just wins you over like so quickly.
Charming.
I mean, it is charming as heck. All the characters, all the
Prepared.
all the characters super likable and
Basically, you know Arya's teacher in
Inconceivable.
season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
He just belongs. It's
Yeah.
literally that dude reminded me of Princess Bride every time
Yeah.
he was
100%.
on scene.
I've seen it. I don't remember much about it. Should probably watch it again.
It's one of those movies. It's one of those movies that like you probably watched as a kid and you probably shouldn't have. Like, and you watch it as an adult, and there's so many little things you pick up, and you're like, those like the Mel Brooks movies are like that.
Yeah, totally.
Labyrinth is another one. Like The Witches, like the Roald Dahl, or any movie that's like an adaptation of a Roald Dahl book, or like The Witches. Like if you think about that movie, it's fucking creepy as hell.
Why do you bother saying it?
We know, Tom.
We're
we
all
know.
thinking
Makes
it.
you laugh.
I've got Princess Bride playing cards.
Oh.
yeah.
Can't remember where I got them from, but there's a side note.
Cool.
Tom.
Not to be confused with The Princess's Bride or whatever the hell that one was called, starring Jennifer
Jan
someone-
Hathaway or something, or
Anne Hathaway. Yeah, which
That's
is also
the
a good
Princess
movie.
Princess
but
Diaries.
Princess Diaries.
Diaries, thank you. Also a good movie though.
Also, Anne Hathaway, not Jan
pretty solid.
Hathaway. Sorry,
Sorry, I can't remember who was in it.
Did you say Jan Hathaway?
I did.
I don't know what I said. Somewhere between a Jennifer and an Anna being in it.
Yeah.
Julie Andrews is in it, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, close enough.
Tom.
Rounding up my list of 5 movies that I like in alphabetical order.
5 movies that he likes. What's your favourite movie, Tom?
That's
Number 1 should technically be your favorite. Like it's your favorite movie of all time.
That's not how my list worked. It would probably
Tom doesn't even like half the movies on his list. It's just the ones you could
It
find.
would probably be Anchorman from the list of movies that we've talked about.
Thanks.
Okay.
But closing out the list, Toy Story.
Okay, fair enough.
Good pick.
Yep.
1 to clarify. 1.
One,
Yes.
one. That's
Okay.
why I said Toy Story and not Toy Story.
I'm just checking.
It's sort of it's a fantastic film, like from my childhood. Another one that you can watch as comfort food, which it seems movies are to me for the most part. When I don't want to be doing something more active.
Like playing video games or watching TV shows.
Well,
Or any other sort of media.
interactive is what I should say. So playing games, and it serves, I guess, as a shout out to Pixar in general, which probably any one of their movies or most of their movies could make its way onto a favourite movies of mine list.
3 is my favorite.
3 was very good.
Yeah, I think
Made me
I
cry.
think for 3.
Yeah, I cried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice.
I went to
Yeah.
that movie with like 10 grown people, like adults. I was gonna say grown men, but I think there were women there too. But we were all like super hyped and super emotional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you watch those movies as a kid, it's like
Yeah, it's your
that
childhood.
end scene. Yeah, just
Yeah.
hits you. Yeah.
Pixar had so much practice at that point of making people cry. I mean, they
What year did Did Toy Story 3 come out?
10, I think.
2009 or 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, somewhere
I think
around
it was around the time that slightly after I'd moved out to uni. So it's like growing up with Andy, as sort of in the movies as you go, made it really quite poignant, I guess.
You've got a friend in me. Doo-doo.
Thanks,
You've got
Randy.
a friend in me.
I used to
Do-do-do.
play with my toys like
Do-do-do.
Andy and feel bad when I hadn't played with them for a while.
I had a Woody
Yeah.
and a Buzz toy.
I had neither,
Yeah.
but I know
Me either.
I used to go to Kmart and sort of fawn over them in the toys aisle.
They were always so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I could have a Christmas present from my dearest mother or Santa, whoever the fuck gave it to me.
Santa.
I wasn't buying them for myself.
Shout out to Santa.
Shout out to Santa. Thanks for giving me that Woody that I eventually the fact that Jono's laughing.
Ho ho ho! You're
welcome,
young boy.
All of you can burn in hell.
Pleasure
I'm just trying to talk about nice childhood Christmas memories. And I say the character's name, which is Woody, because it's Woody followed
You normally
by Santa
suppress
Claus.
those memories. Fuck.
Look, I'm gonna say it again. Fuck all you. Shout out to Santa for giving me that Woody.
The worst
Action
part is
Fuck
we were
all
just
yous.
trying to figure out whether it was Santa or your mum.
Well, if Mum gave it to me, shout out to Mum for giving me that Woody.
Oh my.
All right, Jack,
Toy
you're
Story,
next.
great film.
Yep. Dear me. I'm pretty sure you guys know this, but my favorite movie of all
Back to
time
the
is
Future
not
3.
part.
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards is my favorite movie of all time. This movie, like, I love Quentin Tarantino. I'm a massive fan. I love all his movies. There's like in my honorable mentions,
Even
there's,
Jackie
like,
Brown?
Even Jackie Brown.
Wow.
I haven't seen the other one.
Even Death Proof?
I haven't seen
Fetish,
Death Proof.
the
Sorry,
film.
so I can't say that is. But of his,
I don't mind Death Proof.
Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fiction very nearly made it into my top 5, as did Hateful Eight, as did Reservoir Dogs. But Inglourious Bastards is the only movie I can ever remember seeing that truly gripped me and surprised me. Like, has everyone seen this movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You're addicted.
Oh.
Shut your mouth. You shut your mouth when you talk to me.
Talk with your mouth shut.
Reservoir Dogs was good.
Reservoir Dogs is great. Inglourious Bastards
The
is
film.
is shut the fuck up.
Whoa, did you see that look?
I can't see Tom, so I
Just
can't
gave
see
me
whether
crazy
he's
eyes.
looking at me.
That's why I shone a light on myself before to shake my head about you talking about Glorious.
It's just like a fucking amazing movie. The dialogue in that movie is like, for a movie that's half of it is in subtitles, it like truly gets you, like,
It's a bingo.
yeah, like it just
Christoph Waltz,
and
man.
yeah, Christopher Waltz, like that
Christoph.
Christoph Waltz is fucking awesome in that movie. Brad Pitt is unreal. Like, that is my favorite Brad Pitt thing that he's ever done. I love that that monologue where he's talking to, like, he's got his troops lined up and he's talking to them. And then I remember watching this movie, like,
in to kill Nazis.
yeah,
Nazis.
y'all owe me 100 Nazi scalps.
And each and every one of you is going to bring me 100 Nazi scalps.
Yeah, 100%. But the thing that I love most about this movie is the
bear
twist. Sorry? The bear is
Jew?
awesome. The whole movie is awesome to me. But the two things I love most about the movie is the twist. Because, like, you're watching this movie, right? And spoilers for Inglourious Bastards, I guess, skip ahead 2 minutes.
Came
if you
out
haven't seen it.
2009.
Yeah,
So-
it's fine. Skip ahead, though, if you don't
We're
want
nearly 10
spoilers.
years.
Basically the plot of the movie is that it's World War II and they are plotting to assassinate Hitler. And so you're watching this movie and you're like, yeah,
Based
cool.
in reality.
Based in reality. You're like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, this is going to be cool. It's going to be a Tarantino movie. There's going to be, people getting fucked up and stuff. But we know Hitler, like, this is not how Hitler dies, And
Do we?
well, and so the movie goes on. You're like, oh fuck. So how's he gonna? They're gonna get caught, and Hitler's gonna get away, and whatever, and blah blah blah. But when that twist comes and fucking they burst in the room and just fucking mow him down with the machine guns and they blow up the theater and they kill Hitler, I was just like, I remember watching this movie with my dad. We were both massive Tarantino fans, and just being like shocked, like, what the fuck? That is awesome! They fucking blow him away, like, so cool. But my most favorite part, and one of my favorite scenes in any movie, is the very end scene when they're Hans Lander and Aldo Rain are in the forest, and they've surrendered him over, and he's like, he gets a knife, he's like, bet you're gonna take off that Nazi uniform. I'm gonna give you something you can't take off. And just that right at the end, and he's like doing the like the swastika on his head.
He does the swastika, yeah.
Like, fuck, that was I applauded in my lounge room when that movie finished. I was like, that was fucking awesome.
My favorite thing about
I didn't see it in the cinema.
My favorite thing about Inglourious Bastards is the subtle tie-in of like cinema history that's tied in with it, and like the politics and stuff like that about movies at the time.
The propaganda,
Which is something
My favourite part was the end.
put in.
Yeah. When the
Are you saying that as in when it ended?
Yeah.
You guys.
My favourite part was actually the bar scene, because it just did not go how I expected it.
Yeah.
And now that I've seen that, it's like that's pretty much what you expect from a Tarantino movie, is a lot of tension
Yeah.
followed by everyone dying.
Blanking on Magneto. Anyway, I'm mental blanking on the actor's name.
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Thank you, Fassbender.
That scene is awesome. Like, just the tension in every single scene of dialogue. Like the opening scene where Hans Lander and the
shout out to
Jewish
Mike
guy.
Myers, which was his best movie he's
Yes.
done in like 10, 15 years.
It was
Hasn't
awesome.
done any.
Yeah, like that.
Austin Powers almost made my list.
I watch Inglourious, but I have a tradition every year on Christmas Eve. I watch Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Getting the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Makes
yeah,
sense.
fuck yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
I love it. I
makes-
look forward to
makes
it every
good
year.
sense as to why you love Wolfenstein so much.
Every
as well.
Christmas
Yeah, true.
Eve,
Yeah.
I watch the Santa Claus.
I try and sneak in National
that's a good
Lampoon's
choice.
Christmas Vacation in there somewhere as well. But
Jack, I think I'm close to liking you enough to maybe consider watching that movie again and giving it another
thank you.
shot.
I'm sorry I snapped at you as well. That was uncalled for.
He's not actually sorry, but
No, I am.
And I'm not actually going to watch the movie.
Then we're all okay.
Jono.
I wish I'd started with my first movie, because Jack has already spoken about it extensively, but The Last Crusade is my favourite film of all time. And I think
Indiana
it always will be.
Bones.
Indiana Bones, yeah. Shout out to my dog.
Yeah, he does.
I love this movie so much. Like, I think it was the first one that I saw, probably because it's the most appropriate for children. I'm going to go through it a bit differently to Jack. I feel like
Scene by scene.
the film. Yeah, let's start with River Phoenix. No. Film buffs will tell you that Raiders is the best movie, and they'll talk about how it's, from a film school perspective, how great it is, and blah blah blah.
Raiders is the better made
I
film.
disagree
So this is what
with
I've been
that,
talking about for ages.
because I'm looking at it from, I guess, more as a writer. I'm looking at the script, and I'm looking at it going, you watch the first movie again, and you don't really have a sense of who Indy is from that movie. You don't have any backstory.
yeah, because it's the first one.
Yeah, I know, but that's why in the third one, I feel like you have so much more context for who he is, and they do a better job of explaining it. So you've got the backstory with young Indy, how he gets his whip scar, and they actually give him a motivation that wasn't there before. They give him this integrity that didn't exist. They kind of retcon it, and they say, it belongs in a museum. Before it was like he did it for the money. Now he's doing it, for ethics, I guess, or however you want to look at it. So I like that. And I really, really enjoy the relationship between him and his father. Any scene where they're just talking, it has me captivated.
That's the reason I like it so much. That's the reason I think it's the best Indiana Jones, just because of the father-son
It's so
relationship.
good. And
She talks in her sleep.
yeah. Like when they're sitting in the biplane on the way to, Berlin or Venice, or I can't even remember where it is at this point, because I'm trying to think of things to say, but they have this conversation about why he wasn't there for him when he was younger, and when they're sitting in the motorbike, they've stopped and have to decide which way they're going to go, and talking about his mum. There's just so many moments like that give the movie a weight that wasn't there in the other ones for me.
Yeah.
And, he has to, the conclusion of that movie, spoilers for a 30-year-old film, where he has to actually decide to give up on the thing that he's chased because he's found something even better, which is like this relationship with his father. And, you know, it just hits me so hard. And it's not like I don't see this in my own relationship with my father, but it's just such a human story compared to the other ones. And that's something that always, like, I always enjoy. And the music's great. Jack mentioned some of those stunts. A guy jumps off a horse onto a tank. Like, that isn't something you can just
It's all
do.
practical. Like, there's
There's no
fucking
strings
CG
or
or
wires.
anything.
There's no cranes. He just jumps off a horse. It's incredible. And like all the settings, Venice, and you've got the Petra in Jordan, which is such an amazing place. Like these days, if you saw that, you'd think it was CG because it looks so great. But that setting at the end, and you know, Colorado at the start, and the scene with the train, I just love it. And I feel like I need to watch it after this.
Yeah, I want to watch it now.
Yeah, me too.
And I have to mention, like, it's
Well,
like
start from the start.
Tom mentioned how Anchorman is super quotable. I feel like there are so many great lines in this movie, and the friends I have had, like Jack and others throughout my life who know this movie as well as me, I can just go back and forth with quotes from this movie all day long, and it's so much fun.
Yeah. Look what you did! I can't believe what you did!
Don't call me Junior.
Dylan.
Oh, how cute. My number one, my favourite movie of all time. Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino, 1992.
I'll allow it.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, it's I think between Reservoir Dogs, when I watched Reservoir Dogs, how old I would have been? I think I was like around 12ish, probably.
6.
Before I should have been.
Too young.
Was when I probably started like getting into movies, if you know, like getting into movies more than just like watching them, I suppose. And when I the same year I watched stuff like Clerks, and between Reservoir Dogs and Clerks, it also stands out to me because I watched these two movies. I was like, I could make a movie, and it wasn't just because they were bad. It was just like I was so captivated by these two movies that it was just people talking in the fucking room for the majority of it. Like, there's barely anything happening. Like, Clerks is obviously just people talking. Reservoir Dogs, most of the movie's just them in this warehouse, just talking. And up until this year or whatever, I'd never experienced, like, low-budget indie films, I guess. I was like, oh, that counts? Like, so whenever I listen to, like, Kevin Smith's podcast and he talks about Slackers, being like, him watching Slackers going, oh, I didn't know that counted as making a movie, and then he went and made Clerks. I had the exact same reaction to like watching Reservoir Dogs and Clerks. And
then you went and made a movie.
Yep.
No, I haven't. But I would still like to make a movie one day. Like, great soundtrack. Absolutely fucking love the soundtrack. All the songs on it are great. Standout scenes, all these performances, just the cast. It's very violent without being like grotesque, blood and guts in front of your face. Like the fact that, like, spoilers for this fucking Reservoir Dogs, the scene where Michael Madsen cuts off the ear, like how the camera like pans around him dancing, like follows him from the car, and then like goes to the shadow as he cuts off the ear, when he could have very well shot that in some form or fashion if he wanted to.
Has the definitive Tarantino character in Marvin Nash.
Why is he the definitive
He's not. I just like that. It's funny.
I wrote fan fiction about Reservoir Dogs. I wrote.
Of course you did.
In high school, I wrote the story for all the scenes we missed out on, and then years later they made that into a video game, not based on my story I wrote. However, they did make a video game which was banned in Australia. I also wrote fan fiction. Well, not fan fiction. I remember reading that Tarantino was going to make the Vega Brothers movie, which he never ended up making because character from this and Pulp Fiction related, John Travolta, Michael Madsen's character. I remember I wrote the story of the Vega Brothers movie. I was like obsessed with this movie and like Tarantino universe, and it is ultimately watchable. That's the other thing. It's like when you think about your favorite movies, it's like, how many times have I watched it? Could I watch it right now and be in the mood for it? The answer is yes. I can watch it a million times. It's also, and it's my number one because of it's the movie I think about that kicked off my interest into cinema, deeper than just like watching movies, because I went to another level, I guess.
Interesting.
Nicholas.
My film, it's not my number one overall, but it's up there. I remember buying, this is one of the first 2 DVDs I remember buying. I bought them both at the same day at Big W. I got Super Troopers. No, the movie is Super Troopers, but I also got Starship Troopers the same day. But Super Troopers is just one of those movies.
Did you back the sequel?
I did. I gave him a stupid amount of money to do it.
Thank you for that. I love Super Troopers.
That movie is just one of these movies that I could watch over and over and over again, like Dylan was Shaun of the Dead and whatnot. It's just, I think it's endlessly quotable, constantly funny. Just even Brian Cox in there that doesn't normally do comedic roles. He's just fantastic in it.
I love that movie. It's sorry about the icing sugar. The lice hate it. It's delicious.
I'll go on record, like, I'm not a fan of this movie. I've known so many people that love this movie, and I've watched it. I think it's fine, but I suppose it never clicked. Because I know there's so many people, and I mean, there obviously is people like you that, because the movie wouldn't have got backed, obviously, if they weren't, like, fanatics for it. But I think, like, it's either, like, clicks for you or something, but it like, never clicked for me. I was like, it's funny, but I didn't think it was, like, the be-all. Some people, I've met several people that literally, like, this is my favourite movie of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
It's
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
When it
Like,
came out,
one right now.
Yeah.
It
I used to work with a guy who was like, "Oh, Dylan, have you watched it? Like, I'll lend you the DVD." I'm like, "No, man, I've watched it. Like, it's fine." Like,
Hey, you, bear fucker, do you need some assistance?
I've seen it a couple of times, but I think I'm probably in your camp as well, Dylan, that, like, it was enjoyable
click.
enough, but it just didn't click. Yeah. And I actually already have, because I told you I was making a short list of movies that I should watch again from listening to you talk about them.
you should watch some new movies.
I already put Super Troopers on my list of, that's a movie that I know I need to watch again. Before we talked about Princess Bride, so something reminded me of Super Troopers inside our conversation.
It's probably the fact that the sequel's coming out. You probably saw.
Maybe it was a
before.
time and place thing.
No, I mean,
did you see?
I think it was. I think it's spot on,
an
Nick.
so well.
hour and however long that we've been doing this. Fuck, an hour and a half. Dinner's ready.
It's been going.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Could have watched a movie in this time.
The Albums one went for like an hour 20. What the hell did any of yous expect?
Movie. It's a movie-length movie podcast.
There you go.
All right.
What was that?
Does anybody have anything else to add?
I was going to say, Tom, what movies are you going to actually watch from what we've described and recommended?
Let's make a bet. Like, we've made
List
we've
them
made
and we'll
dates
bet
and stuff on
if
this
he
thing.
sees.
Put it down now. Like, list 2 movies. No, that might be pushing it for you. 2 or 3 movies that you'll watch by a certain date, and if you don't, we'll fucking call you out.
Well, I don't know. I'll give you the list of things that I wrote down, and maybe we can check in where I'm at Christmas or something like that.
Okay,
An Extra Life.
I'll give you the
An Extra
yeah,
Life?
Extra Life.
Well, I might have watched. Well, that's a month. I will have watched a couple.
You got a plane ride,
That's a month.
so you can watch like 3 of these.
Blade Runner. I don't know how that ended up at the top of the list, but it's there.
Because the sequel's out this week
The
or next
sequel's
week or
coming out
whenever.
too,
Yeah.
Fucking
And actually,
That's
when
why I
was
have to
talking
see
to my
Blade Runner.
friend before the movie we watched this afternoon, and I was like, neither of us had seen it, or no, I've seen it, but I can't really remember it. Blues Brothers, watch that again. Shaun of the Dead, Dumb and Dumber, Super Troopers, Princess Bride. They're movies that I've seen before and want to watch again. Movies I haven't seen and should watch.
getting emotional.
Rain Man, Indiana Jones trilogy, 500 Days of Summer, Departed, Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Inglourious Bastards is on there, but it should be on.
I like how he added Robin Hood Men in Tights because it was cold out by
And
1
Blazing
second,
Saddles. Put
and he was
Blazing
like,
Saddles.
add that.
Well, it's like, oh, that's a movie that I enjoy.
You would like
some
that,
of
Tom.
Mel Brooks stuff.
Yeah, you would like that.
You would
based
be
on
right
that.
up your
If it's
alley.
one
Yeah.
You'd
Holds
love
up,
Men in Tights. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I watched it like 2 weeks
it's
ago.
something
It's awesome.
that I should watch.
Dave Chappelle's in it.
Lend me your ears.
3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 films. Do we have?
If you can watch 4 by Christmas, I'll be
Do
happy.
we have 13 weeks until Christmas?
impressed.
1, 2,
Something like that.
I think it's got to be less. It's like it's like 9.
Counting
No, no.
explosion.
There
more
are
than that.
13 weeks until Christmas.
What?
Oh shit!
That
It's
might-
meant to
that-
be, Tom.
One a week.
Okay, wrap the show
All right.
up.
Where can we find you, Ashley?
Find me on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY.
By the way,
I'll
I'm
just stick
I'm
honorable
chucking
mentions
down
on
my
there.
5 honorable mentions.
I'll
so
just
if you
stick
want
my honorable mentions on social
Okay.
media,
Okay.
just to make it easier, and give Dylan.
Jack,
more
where
time.
can we find you?
You can
Take
find
2
me. Can I throw out some honorable?
No.
No. You can find me at cruisy_mate on Twitter.
Jono,
You could have. I'm gonna.
At Jono himself.
Tom,
There are 12 weeks until Christmas. Tom the Bomb 89, Avengers as an MCU shout out, Aladdin, Star Wars, and James Bond.
you can find Dylan at Viva La Dill. You can find myself at
no,
Lord M.
no.
Pryor.
I'll
You
ruin
can
your
follow
next show.
Explosion
I'll ruin
Network
your
at
next show.
Explosion Pod.
I'll ruin your next show.
ExplosionNetwork.com for
I'll
everything.
ruin your next show.
Just
Keep
start
it
going
locked.
down the
You can
list.
find Dylan's honourable mentions on the show description.
Bye.
Plat, plat.
Join us at Extra Life in November. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in for episode 32 of Explosion Network.
Enjoy the ad read.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Kieran here. If you haven't heard, the Explosion Network will be streaming for 24 hours and participating in Extra Life on November 4th, raising money for the Sick Kids Centre for Global Child Health. Head on over to explosionnetwork.com/extralife for all the details on how you can help us, including donating, giving us some ideas for challenges, or games you'd like to see us play. October 27th to 29th, apparently Pack Melbourne's happening, and I'm going to be there with Dylan, Ash, and Jono. So feel free to come say hey if you see us on the show floor. Then, there's a disturbance in the Force. On October 27th, we'll be launching a Star Wars podcast in the lead up to Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Of course, our weekly shows will always continue. Pleasure Explosion Mondays, Platinum Explosions on Tuesdays, and Grandstand Gurus Thursdays. All at 12 p.m. Catch our live streams where I like to dwell during the evenings at twitch.tv/Explosion Network, and keep your targets locked on explosionnetwork.com for all our explosive content. Shout out to Bevan.
Good job, everybody. Wrap it up.